Hi, let's talk about text in Studio. So here you can see I'm already looking at some text that I've placed here before. I've got a single line font at the top, and that's what it says, and a standard font at the bottom. So what do I mean when I say single line versus standard? It's kind of helpful that these two fonts are actually technically the same style, so we can really compare both. The single line font, as the title suggests, is drawn with just one path, similar to how you would write something, whereas the standard font is drawn sort of doubling back over itself so that the font actually has a thickness. And this is normal for print or for what we're used to on computers, but for engraving, like we might want to do with Origin, the single line font is often going to give us a better result. Why is that? So if I go over to review mode here, we can sort of see a little bit more easily why I might prefer a single line font over a standard font. You can see the single line font is really clean, and below it's a little bit busier because there are basically 2 lines for every letter. The other thing about the single line fonts is that if I, for example, wanted to use a larger bit, I could now more easily set the width of my font with a different sized bit. If it's a standard font, then it starts to make the font sort of illegible when I do that. So the single line font provides a little bit more flexibility and oftentimes a better look with Origin. So how would you get a single line font in Studio for your next project? If you're adding text here, then in the parameter panel on the right side, when I click into the font style, there's an easy filter up here at the top for a single line. If I click on that, then you can see all of the single line fonts that Studio has. Pick your favorite. If you wanted to use a standard font, how would you prepare it for Origin? So there's some tips and tricks for getting your standard font ready for Origin. Let's say you want to make a sign that has some really beefy letters. Maybe you're inlaying them. Maybe you're going to pour some resin into them, but you're going to make bigger letters, so you want a standard font for that. So we'll make a piece of text, and it's going to say Joe's Cafe, for example, and it's going to be in a big sign, so let's actually make this larger. Let's make it 18 inches. And now we can pick the font style we want. Again, I said I want it to be kind of beefy, so I'm going to take a look at these novelty fonts, because I think more of them are going to have that sort of different character to them. This oi is a little weird. I'm partial to this shorthand, so now that I've got that figured out, if I go into plan mode, if I wanted to pour resin into this text, then I would set these to be a pocket and give them enough depth for my liquid, and then we can worry about bit diameter a little bit later. Because if I go over to review mode now, just to double check, you should always check, it's very useful. I can see actually that the inside of my letters of this O and this E, they seem to be gone. And the reason for that is that both of those paths are also getting set to pocket. So what I want to do is I want to make this text into a compound shape so that I'm cutting the inside of the O and the inside of the E out of the larger part of the letter. So I'll use Shapeshifter for that. With the text selected, I can go into Shapeshifter, and then I can just click on the parts of the letters that I want to keep. I say Make Shape, and now if I go to Plan Mode and set this up again as a pocket with some depth, in Review Mode, it actually looks perfect. So I'm really happy about that. So that's the tip for making standard fonts work well with Origin. Now let's talk about how you might make raised lettering with Origin and Studio. So let's start with this file here where I've already chosen the font that I want to use. And what I should do is I should figure out what size is the material that I'm going to create these raised letters out of. And in this case, let's say it's a rectangle. We're going to add this in here and align it. And then I'm just going to pull on some of these edges to make it the right size. If you had a specific size in mind here, or if you're measuring a material, obviously you can type that in. But let's talk about the important step here, which is that what I want to do is I want to use origin to remove all of the material around my letters and then just leave the letters at the original surface. So what I can do is I can actually use Shapeshifter for that. It's a perfect use case. So I'm going to select both of the shapes by holding down the Shift key and tapping on them. And then if I click on Shapeshifter, I can just click to fill in the parts of this shape that I want to keep. And then I'm going to say Make Shape. And now I have a single shape that's basically my material minus those letters. And that's what I'm going to want to pocket out. So now if I go to Plan Mode, I can set this shape that we've created to pocket, and I can give it a depth, and then I can take a look at it in review mode and see what it looks like. And what you'll find using review mode, sometimes it lets you know if your bit diameter is a little bit too big, so we can go back to plan mode and set it to a smaller bit diameter, for example. And then it looks a lot better. And you can keep playing around with that in the different modes and check and come back until you like the way it looks. And now this pocket is ready for me to cut on origin. I just have to import that file.